Crypto has been moving, there's no doubt about it, but one thing is true right now, today, Cardano, ADA, making moves with a much needed breakout. What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the subscribe and like on the way in. If you're an ADA holder, congrats. I mean, you're seeing some green today. You're seeing those gains. There's the breakout on the 6 hour right through that upper trend line of the descending triangle, that yellow line that you see there. I want to break down really the daily chart, really this 6 hour chart. Before we do, I want to start on the weekly because this is very briefly what we've been talking about, some separation from the 20-week moving average after that post-hard fork consolidation, meaning hard fork here, the consolidation into the 20-week moving average, this green line, we're looking for separation now because this is what we got post-Mary hard fork, consolidation into the 20-week moving average with that boom, explosive separation, and it's what we got after Shelly hard fork back here in July of 2020, pulled into the 20-week moving average, boom, separation for this next leg up. So this first move on the macro so far for this week, we have to see how the week closes. This is crypto looking really good. The other thing is we talked about, we've been tracking this, but we talked about it just last night in a video, this trend, this downward trend on the RSI, this slower moving momentum oscillator. Want to see if Cardano can continue this move on the macro and get this explosive parabolic move, just bringing ADA into really overbought territory up here, that parabolic all-time high type of environment. That's what we're anticipating. But it really has been kind of this downward trend of momentum. Notice, we talked about this on the video last night as well, MACD momentum shift. Let's keep an eye on that on the weekly. But let's dig into the daily chart. There's the move. There's the yellow descending triangle that we've been talking about. Couple things I want to talk about on this chart. First, I want to start with the 50-day moving average because we were just talking about this last night. Cardano all the way down here, I believe right below the 50-day moving average, that blue line. When I did the video, I think we were at like 211, 212 area talking about Cardano. Can it just get that nice green candle above the 50-day moving average? Because since all-time high, it has been a downtrend. Cardano just struggling all at that 50-day moving average, never really getting a solid close above. We were looking for this confirmation, this indicator, and so far on this daily candle, don't know what's going to happen next. I mean, it would be ridiculous if this daily candle ended up coming all the way back down. That would not be fun. However, we look for the continued separation. Because right now, if we're looking at this from a price range perspective, from the 50-day moving average, right around 11%. So in this move, we want to see Cardano approach that 20 to 30% area of overextension, potentially before we get that dramatic consolidation, a dip per se. And what that would look like is a move kind of in this vicinity up here. This is the area we want to test, this green rectangle. And the reason is, and this is what I want to talk about on the daily chart, we've been waiting for a short-term breakout. Like, hey, Cardano, do something. You're sideways, just do something. This is a midterm area of resistance. And what this is, it's the all-time high for Cardano to this swing low that we recently bounced off of really not long ago. This was the end of October 27th, right here. It's a Fibonacci lower high area of resistance. This is where we want to see Cardano. We obviously will want to see it test it, but this is that mid to longer term. Cardano breaks it, we get the continuation of this bull market for Cardano, and we're seeing all-time highs. It's a lot of resistance, I'll just say that. And so when we get in this environment in which we see Cardano getting overextension of 20 to 30% from the 50-day moving average, it would be no surprise to see resistance up here. First things first, we need to get there. It's around the 618 is around 264, the 786 around 287. That's that move that we're seeing if Cardano can make it up to that area. Now, on this daily chart, this is a descending triangle breakout. Just some things in regards to descending triangles. can be in any direction is upward 53% of the time. This is Balkowski on the patternsite.com. I use his data. I've used it for a very long time. This doesn't apply. His data is not really coming from crypto as much, but the data, we tweak some things, is extremely, extremely consistent. If you've been watching my YouTube channel and the technical analysis that we do, this stuff, it's nothing I do. I'm taking it, I'm putting it all together so that I can anticipate and be ready. And so if we're looking at this, 53% of the time, breakout to the upside. A lot of people say descending triangles are bearish, and they very much can be, but this is bull market results. So we're in a bull market in crypto. So 53% of the time to the upside, this is what we want to talk about, the throwback rate, 60% throwback rate. So meaning you're getting a breakout, and let's go back to the daily chart. You're getting a breakout. A throwback is when you see, boom, coming back down. It doesn't necessarily mean we're just falling all the way, but it could be a retest. 60% of the time before, maybe continuation. I want to anticipate that. I'm not saying it will happen. I just want to always be ready for that volatile environment. If tomorrow crypto's red, that could happen for Cardano. Just be prepared for something like that. Let's continue talking about Cardano to the upside though. We know, let's go to the 6-hour chart. We know we have this breakout target in the $3 range out of the descending triangle that you see here in yellow. What's so epic about this is we were tracking this shorter term symmetrical triangle. It broke down 73% of the way to the apex. We almost hit the target to the downside, not quite, almost got there. Quick bounce, support all along the lower trend line of the descending triangle in yellow, and then boom, right towards the end of the apex of the descending triangle, breakout to the upside. It's just so, from a technical analysis perspective, it's just so sick. It's so cool to watch. It's so smooth to see. And now here we are. So we have this longer term $3 target to the upside for Cardano. We know that is there. What I want to talk about is if it got there, what's the volatility like? Like, what can you anticipate emotionally? Because that's kind of where my head's always at. The dips, the volatility. When we are getting dips, is it bad? What does it typically look like? What would it look like to be good? Or what would something good look like? I want to talk about that real quick. This is a 6-hour chart. I'm going to go back between the 6-hour and the daily chart, and I'm going to give you a real life example because this is what Cardano does. This is really what cryptos do. This is how they look. And so when we're looking at this chart, we go over to the daily, zoom out. A very similar move, a very, very similar move for Cardano is back here. Not only have we compared this from the 20-day moving average cross below the 50-day right here, comparatively to that 20-day moving average cross, right? We got the very similar consolidation into the 200-day moving average we talked about, boom, into the 200-day moving average we talked about, very similar there, but now we're starting to see some similarities in terms of this breakout here and this breakout here. Notice this, we have a very similar Fibonacci on the midterm, that recent all-time high back in May to swing low, Cardano with the same breakout back then, made its way to this Fibonacci, and you can see the resistance. Now, check this out. If we get rid of that Fibonacci, here it is, that Fibonacci resistance back in August with this breakout. You can see just testing the Fibonacci and then boom, big dip. That's the type of thing we need to be prepared for in this uptrend for Cardano is big dips. Don't know when they will come. Fibonacci on this midterm could be a really good area for it. Could happen sooner, and I'm going to show you that on the 6-hour. But just look at this dip. This was a basically 18% dip. A lot of people may be thinking Cardano is on its way back down, but it was actually on its way to break all-time highs. So that's number one, testing that similar Fibonacci. The move is very similar in terms of that breakout back here in August. You can even go to the RSI. We see this momentum oscillator here. A couple things I want to talk about. Notice when Cardano did see the resistance here at the Fibonacci in August. All the way up here, Cardano, right around 88 on that RSI, overbought. Got a very similar dip all the way back here in February. That area on this RSI is something to be cautious of as Cardano approaches that if we get overbought like that on this chart. But check out the upside. Cardano not even in overbought. Cardano not even at 70 on this RSI. There's a lot of uptrend momentum potential for Cardano right now, and that could lead us into this Fibonacci. just anticipating some resistance if Cardano gets there. To the 6 hour. What if we get a dip sooner than, Cardano getting to 264 to 280s, into the 280s? So here's a 6 hour. We can go and we can look at the same exact move, right? So this similar move, this similar daily breakout move on Cardano that we're comparing to right now, we can go look at this area. So that started August 10th. We can go look at the area on the 6 hour chart, which is kind of the environment we are now when we're zooming in on the charts. So August 10th, boom, there's the breakout, right? Very similar to where we are right now. And you can see Cardano to the upside. And look, this isn't even that big dip. This is just a very short-term consolidation on its way up to this Fibonacci that we just looked at over here on the daily chart. And so this is what it could potentially look like. Just a nice little throwback before continuation. If we look at a 6 hour on the RSI, check this out. Cardano overbought on the 6 hour RSI. And so if we just look at it where it is right now, boom, and check this out. Right here, very similar area. Right when we got this short-term dip for Cardano. And we're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4. That was around 24 hours worth of kind of consolidation, dip, just cooling down a little bit before continuation. Are we right now getting close to something like that? I want to throw that out there. Be very ready for something like that for Cardano. A 24-hour type of consolidation for Cardano. Let these moving averages get pulled up a little bit. Maybe Cardano's coming back down into the 220s, maybe even like 215, and then we're continuing to the upside. The crypto isn't kind of like, sometimes it is, but not so often, right? It's not just green to target. It's not. It's usually, oh man, we're getting a breakout. Oh shoot, what's happening, right? And oh man, we're still going up. Oh shoot, what's happening? It's like that. And look, you can even just look, going right back here to August. Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. Look at this one. Boom. Still going up to all-time high. That's an emotional roller coaster you want to be prepared for. So we know our targets to the upside. We know our targets even to the downside. Didn't talk about it too much in this video, but this entire throwback area, 60% of the time with descending triangles, 60% of the time throwbacks for descending triangles, we know that's in play. We are ready for it, and it is what it is. Everybody, I appreciate you. Please know this is not financial advice. This is my opinion. This is my data. This is what I'm tracking. I'm trying to be prepared just like you are. So let's see what happens. Time will tell. Hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I appreciate all of you. Hit that like button. God bless.